All right, well, good morning, everyone. Nice to see some familiar faces. My name is Faith Dental. I'll be your professional learning manager for our Foundations A to Z orientation today. Now, with Foundations A to Z, we do have the systematic explicit lessons that do follow a scope and sequence. We'll talk about how you could use that scope and sequence for some students, or you might decide to use it more of like a supplement and pull parts of the Foundations A to Z lessons. We'll discuss the engaging student portal and turning reading into relevant, meaningful, and connected activity for students of all ages. Now, with Foundations A to Z, we're honed in on these 5 components with literacy. You'll see these components as we look at resources. They'll address all of these components: phonemic awareness, phonics, fluency, vocabulary comprehension, right? It's all built together with knowledge building, cementing each one of these 5 pillars of literacy. And today's takeaways. So today we will first really locate and find resources that you can use to supplement your foundational skills instruction, or you may choose to pull the lessons and use them in their entirety. Second, we will also think about the digital assignments that are available for students in the Kids A to Z portal with the Foundations Planet. So they'll have different assignments that is connected to exactly what you might be teaching. So some opportunity to reinforce, to extend those lessons. And then we'll learn how to customize the settings and student management if needed. And at the end, we'll also show you, I'll highlight some of the resources for your ELL add-on for RAS Plus, and how to support your EL students with some of the resources that you have. Are there any questions about what we'll be covering? Anything else you'd like to add? Feel free to unmute your mic or type it in the chat. So I encourage you today, let's make the most of our time together, staying present. Feel free to, as I'm navigating the site, navigate along with me. So you have that tab up, or if you prefer to jot down and watch. There will be a time for us to go into breakout groups to work together and to collaborate. And I encourage us to share ideas and questions during this session on Foundations A to Z. All right. So let's go ahead and make sure we're all logged into RAS Plus. Just in case someone's having any issues, I do have the trainer account up, but please try your own login first. If you could give me a thumbs up in the chat, just to let me know if you are ready and logged into RAS Plus. Hmm. Thank you, Michael, for letting me know you're ready. This is also being recorded in case we need to come back to a certain part. Okay, wait one more moment, just make sure we're all situated with our RAS Plus login. All right. If you could follow along with me to your menu here in the top left corner of the home page. So go ahead and click that menu. And we're going to go down to Foundations A to Z. Go ahead and open up Foundations A to Z. All right, so here are the lesson plans that you can follow its own scope and sequence. So I'll open it up here. We may have previewed this in the orientation, but I know that was quick. So when you open up in Foundations A to Z and open up the lesson plans, right, you can select what grade level. You can see that there are, for each grade level, for K to 5, there are 8 units. And within each unit, there are 4 modules, and each module has 5 lessons. So these lessons are fully explicit, systematic. You could follow on the right-hand side, you'll see the scope and sequence, or you may choose to pull parts of the lesson. Like say I'm in this lesson here, vowel consonant, silent E. I can see the standards that it aligns to at the top. I can select my state. I can see the student objectives, what the student can be able to do by the end of this lesson. Here are some things we're covering. And I see that gradual release and the suggested time on the right. So maybe I am doing this lesson in entirety, or I may be going back with a student or a group of students and pulling maybe just the guided practice or the I do here. Okay. So we'll go into depth of the lessons a little bit more later, but just showing you, you may choose to use it in its entirety or maybe just parts of the lesson. Back up in our menu under Foundations A to Z, then you'll notice underneath the Professional Development tab. I'm just going to open that up so you can see what's in here. There are some awesome, amazing resources here that you could filter by category. You can see a video, article, or audio to really support your learning with the science of reading and teaching reading with the resources that we have. So now, with these resources, you can connect research to direct application of these practices. That was within our Foundations A to Z, the professional development. Now, you can also go to the bottom. When I open up my main menu, when I see my different solutions, at the bottom, we do have just an overview of product support. And when you click that, we have a Foundations A to Z program guide. This is a great thing to go back to when we have questions about the Foundations program. Frequently asked questions, I highly recommend just remembering that's there to support you. So with that being said, we are going to dive into the first resource. I am going to point out on the upper right-hand corner, we can search for a specific skill and find resources that are aligned to that skill. So I'm going to set a quick example, and then I will ask you to do a search of your choosing. This example focuses on primary resources, but the navigation and search steps are relevant to any grade level and skill. So my example, I'm going to type in SBlends here in the top right, SBlends. And when I put a specific phonics skill and hit enter, like the SBlends, I have over 50 resources. If you don't have time to browse through all these options, we have multiple ways to filter this to narrow down your results. So the filters here, we can filter by grade, skill, or collection. And underneath, we can search, the blue tabs are sorted by resource type. Let's say I'm looking for resources that cover consonant blends. So I'm going to click the skills filter here. And when I click that, I can go down to narrow down. A second. And I'm going to narrow down under phonics to consonant blends. So here I have consonant blends. You'll see another filter come up where I can narrow my consonant blends even further. So I'm going to do final consonant, oops, initial and final consonant S blends. Since I searched S blends, I can now select that right there and see what resources will be useful to supplement instruction. You see now I have 13 results, including I do have some lesson plans from Foundations A to Z. So each resource such as a book and video ties back to the lesson plan so you can have ideas for implementation. I will look at what books are available to support my instruction. So I am going to select Beck Swell Can Shine. When you select a book or any resource, you'll see the connected lessons are found below as well in the related resources section at the bottom of the page. For here, and then the lesson plan resource cards provide at-a-glance information to understand where a lesson originates and what specific skills are being taught, including grade level, unit, module, and short lesson plan description. I want to highlight how you might utilize a lesson segment when you want to teach a certain skill. Please watch my screen as I demonstrate. So, if I'm reading this decodable book with my student or students, I might also choose to also use this lesson on S blends. So I'm going to open that up. You'll see the lesson objectives clearly marked at the top. And then you'll also see at the bottom section materials, you'll find the gradual release here designed to include effective practices supported by research. The lesson plans, the I do, we do section include explicit instruction for the listed objectives. Depending on your goal, you can teach the whole lesson or you might choose specific objectives as the focus for instruction. I'm going to go back up here and I'm going to highlight, let's look at the student objectives for this lesson. For this example, I want to target my instruction on, let me see, read words that begin with S blends. So I may just be pulling this part, reading words with S blends. Now, when I go to the I do section here and open that up, I'm going to scroll until I find the skill I'm looking to teach. So here, I can see we're going to build and read words with S blends. That connects to what I want to focus on with that student here. And here you'll see sample dialogue over here. We know that students learn from hearing and seeing you think aloud. So sometimes you may need more guidance than a single step, or you may want to consider a different approach. The sample dialogue built into the lesson plans supports you with alternative methods and an easy way to model thinking out loud. The next step in this lesson here, let me close that sample dialogue, is collaborative practice that you see right here and skill application. It includes 2 printable resources that you see right here that I can just print off and a suggestion to use bingo chips, a common material which supports a multimodal approach. You'll also see when you scroll down, check for understanding that provides an observation checklist that you can print out or download to record your observation as you gauge student learning. You'll also see corrective feedback language. Additional instruction can be given to students who need more support. You may get to a lesson and decide to teach more than one single objective, maybe even the entire lesson. But you may not have time for every part of the lesson. An alternative pacing guide is at the top of the lesson landing page. So here's times are on the right, but if you don't have time for all of that and you want to do the whole lesson, we have, if you click here where it says duration and that little I, here is an alternative pacing, narrowing it down to 30 minutes. If I want to do I do for 10, we do 10, and you do for 10 minutes. That's just something to keep in mind as you look at these lessons and plan your implementation. So you may choose to use parts of lesson, or you may choose for particular students to follow the lesson's scope and sequence. I'm going to show you the menu. Actually, no, I'm going to go back. So we are going to go to our slide because I want to give you time to explore. So we're going to use this time to search a skill to supplement your instruction and select a lesson to review. So you may choose to do exactly what I did and type a certain skill that you need. Maybe I'm doing R controlled vowels. So think about your skill. And then I could even play around with the filters to my skill if I want to narrow it down more, but you can find, sorry, within the collection, you can narrow it down to lesson plans if you want to get right to that lesson plan. And here I see some lesson plans with R controlled vowels. So that might be one way you'll choose a lesson plan, or you may choose just to go to the menu in the left, select Foundations A to Z, and just open up the whole lessons and select from here. Okay, so think about which way you want, if there's a certain skill or you just want to start maybe from the beginning. So once you select a lesson to look at, think about one or two student objectives that you see at the top and locate the related segment in the lesson. Locate where that objective is being addressed, kind of like I did in the I do. Read through the lesson steps and understand your role and what is expected of students. I'm going to pause. Are there questions so far about what you're doing? Any questions coming to mind before I give you some time to explore a lesson? All right. Well, I want to give you a moment to peruse. I am going to also put us in breakout groups to share what features of the lesson you liked and how you'll use it to support your instruction. But why don't we take about 3 minutes or so to locate a lesson, and then I'll pull us in breakout groups. All right, I'm gonna pause for a second. I'm gonna create breakout groups for you to be able to share out, but also work together to think about. I put it in the chat, but select your lesson plan and review the objectives to select a lesson segment for each instruction. Second, read through the lesson steps, understand your role, and note features that support your instruction, such as sample dialogue. Okay, any questions before I create those breakout groups? I think I'm gonna have like about just two of us. It's a smaller group right now, so about two. I think one breakout group might have three. Okay, I went ahead and opened up the breakout groups. If you could click join, let me know if you don't see it.
I think a couple of people might need the training links again for logins. Faith. I think she's frozen. Hi, Katie. They just went into breakout rooms. I will send you to one of the open ones.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
I'll send you to. Did Faith disappear? Allergy. Trying to get.
All right, I am gonna give them a heads up. I realize I tried to join a breakout group and my whole computer froze, so I got kicked out and I had to restart.
I think Marlene's getting an error that says there's a firewall block. I don't know what that has to do. I don't know what any of that is. And then also, I think some of the people might need the people that came in late, they might need a training account.
Okay, so I'll put that up. Let me go back to my slides. And Ryan, I don't see my ability, I think because I left and joined
I
that
can
I
give it back
can't.
to you.
If you want it to as well, and just if you want to just end the breakout groups, if you see that on your end, because that will give them about a minute to come back to this main room. Thank you.
Okay. And you are co-host as well.
Perfect, thank you. So it looks like they should be back in about 30 seconds. All right, we should have some people trickling back in from our breakout groups. We're going to share out with the whole group. Hey, welcome back to our main group. What features of the lesson did you like? And how will the lesson support your instruction and student learning? Let's share out in the chat or feel free to unmute your mic.
What I like about these lessons is that it's all there. If I need a book, it's there. If I need a worksheet, it's there. I don't have to reinvent the wheel. And it's very specific. You can go into a specific sound or another thing that you want to teach. So that's what I like about it.
Yes, all there, right there for you. Anything else to note before we move on? Breaking down everything for you, right? With the gradual release and the corrective feedback is nice to have on hand and be able to just like print out those resources right there.
I love that the resources didn't stop based off just being in the classroom. I love that it encouraged the parents to also help the kids with these skills, and that's what I love the most about this, that it wasn't just on us to help the children.
And then, yes, you can scroll down with additional resources. Maybe these are things that we can assign out to the kids' A to Z account, right? And they can continue practicing at home because they have access 24/7 to their account. You can assign different lessons to different students based on their needs. Exactly. We want to differentiate our instruction. So with that being said, I am going to go back to our site and we're going to move on. So let me exit out of that. All right, and we're going to go back to our menu over here, and we're going to look at some more resources with Foundations A to Z. So I'm going to click the open the menu. I'm going to click Foundations A to Z. And here, so we opened up the lesson plans. We can also find resources by that allows you, so this allows you to search for resources to supplement the skills and standards you are teaching. You can also look for resources that align with other curricula that you'll see here in the correlations and assessments through the correlations. Through correlations, you will find all supplemental resources available in Foundations A to Z. So if there is a program that they're learning at school, maybe you can find that correlations here if you'd like to. So I'm going to go ahead and click collections here first, if you want to follow along with me, and highlight one of our first resources here in the All Phonics Skill Packs. I'm going to open that up. The All Phonics Skill Packs, it contains expertly curated instructional and practice resources for a range of phonics skills, from alphabet to multisyllabic words. It's all organized into one place. You'll also see the skill pack sequence guidance here at the bottom that gives you a suggested sequence from simple to more complex. Or you may choose to just select packs using your own scope and sequence or whatever a student needs. I'm going to select the consonant blends skill packs as an example. So consonant skill pack. Within each main skill pack topic, materials collections are further organized by sub-skills, so you can select exactly what you need. I'm going to do the initial and final S blends here on the left. Now, the pack resources were selected intentionally, and what's presented is considered to be the most relevant and applicable for reteaching, practice, and enrichment with a particular skill. However, we recommend that you preview these individual resources in a pack to make informed and intentional decisions before selecting them for students. Now, you'll see that each pack includes digital resources, as well as, if you scroll down, some printable resources too. The amount of resources in a pack will vary. In a pack that offers many options of a similar resource type, such as the instructional videos, the organization will always be sequenced that progresses from simple to more complex. So it'll start with simple and then to more complex as we go to the right. All right, so that was our skill pack. Now I'm going to click back here. It will be helpful for you to learn about the various resources as you consider including the materials in your instruction. A few for you now. Following that, we're going to break for your exploration. So I am going to do the final consonant M blends as an example. And here you see the N blend, and it's a video here on the bottom right. So with narration by a fun classroom mascot, instructional videos engage students in learning and reviewing key concepts while acknowledging their work with positive affirmation. I'm going to show you a clip from this as an example. Now, while you watch, note the active participation that enhances the student experience. Now, let me double check that I am sharing with my sound. I didn't select that. All right, and just let me know in the chat if you're not able to hear it, but it should work this time.
Welcome back, my friends! We're going on a mission to learn about words with N blends at the end. We'll also go to Planet Gunk to hunt for the mint-flavored fruit called the plunk. Here's Planet Gunk. Hey, there's a tent. The word tent has the consonant blend nt at the end. Remember, a blend is two consonants together. Each consonant says its sound. I'll say the sounds in the word.
Can you all see my video okay? No. Oh, did not know. Let me share screen. Sorry about that. Here, let me.
T. Blend the sounds and say the word. T, t. Tent. Great work. Maybe.
All right, I'm gonna pause for a moment. So you might choose to pause the video with your students and discuss taught skills, or maybe you're having students turn and talk to apply what they are learning. Then you could also assign the video as an independent review. So let me get out of this video. So you could always assign by clicking this assign button right here. Now, next, I'm excited to show you the interactive games. I'm going to use this back button to return back to the landing page. The interactive games are intentionally built to help students progress from simple to complex skills. I'm going to go ahead and click this interactive game right here, the Read Words with Ending N Blends. Now you may choose to click to present to preview the game right here. I'm going to click next. So some Foundations A to Z games do require that students record themselves while engaging in the activity. Kids A to Z will need to be granted microphone access for each student's device. We recommend that students use headphones if this is an option. Now I'm going to click to the various activities so you can see that there might be an opportunity here for them to record and to say that. There's opportunity for them to click this little icon here to listen to it read aloud. Sometimes they'll drag and drop. And mistakes do receive immediate corrective feedback and students can try again. Additionally, automatic scoring is built into the program, which gives you data useful for planning. And this is also something students can do at home if you choose to assign it and have them continue to work on at home. So let's take 2 minutes just to pause and reflect and to add any thoughts about the instructional videos and the interactive games that I just showed you. Just feel free to jot something down. This will help you to remember to come back and explore further. I'm also here to answer any questions for you. All right, now that we had a moment just to reflect on some of the things that we noticed with the video and the interactivity games, I want to open up a decodable that you see right here on the right. So I'm going to open this up as an example. Click lights off. Now, to open the projectable, you can click present here. You can also download to print it off or assign it to students. I'm going to go ahead and click the present button to open up the projectable. And then I'm going to click projectable. So it's important to note that while this is a decodable text, the language is authentic. By modeling accurate everyday language with high frequency words, students enjoy a richer learning experience. You may choose to use some of the annotation tools here on the left. What is great too is if you go in before your students and if you want to put the annotation tools, it will save for you. So this is great part of your instructional planning. If you want to delete those tools, you can also just click the refresh and you can reset your page or your book. But as you can see here, I have highlighted a high frequency word. I noted a long I that I see in sky, a long vowel that I want to put before as part of my instructional planning. All right, I'm going to X out of this. Also, when you click present, so I showed you the projectable, you can also preview the student version here. The listen version is real people reading the text out loud, so articulation and pronunciation stay intact, and the text becomes a great model for students to listen to. If students also, if you choose to click off reading, here they'll have access to those same annotation tools that you have. So on the top of their screen, we're going to model how to use them. And here they click next. They can use some of the same tools that you have for annotation. All right, I'm going to close that off. So this would be what the students see on their side of things. And I'm going to go scroll down at the bottom of this decodable because you will see related resources and a related lesson plan that is connected to the text. You may choose to do some work from the related resources that best match the instructional needs of the student. All right. And then you would assign it right here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and navigate back. On a second, navigate back. So these resources can be accessed as well outside the skill path as individual materials using the options. If I go to my menu, Foundations A to Z, and then Collections, and then All Collections. I can also get other resources here, and they are all here alphabetically. So you also probably notice right here, we can toggle the highlight assignable resources. So now I can see which resources I can assign to the students. So the collections is a great way to really narrow down your search, and I recommend you use some time to explore the collections. So we are going to, I'm going to pause for a moment and go back over here. All right. Now, as we explore, I have a scenario for you. This over. So the scenario, your students know most of the common letter names and sounds, but you're noticing that many of them are struggling to decode multisyllabic words. You want to supplement your instruction with Foundations A to Z. What resource would you pull into your whole or small group, maybe for that individual student, for independent practice in multisyllabic words? Feel free to think about how you might find those multisyllabic word practice resources. I'm going to give us 5 minutes to explore, whether it's typing in the chat, let me go, not chat, excuse me, typing in the search bar in the top right, multisyllabic words, and then using the filters, or maybe you're choosing to look in the menu in in the left and finding it this way. Okay, what questions can I answer before you try on your own? Okay, we'll take till 11:24. I'm here to answer any questions. We'll just stay all together for this one. I'm going to actually end it in 1 minute just because I have 2 more things to highlight before we close out today. So 1 more minute just to explore multisyllabic resources or any resources that your students may need. All right, let's pause our exploration of some of those resources. And this is a good time for you to go ahead and follow along with me because we're going to go over how to customize the student experience. So if you could go to your menu on the left and go to RAS Plus on the left and just click that home page or that logo in the top left, because this will bring us to our roster right here in the top. So if I open my roster here, just want to highlight some things to customize. So I open my roster and you're going to first see a general tab where all fields are editable. Here you can adjust the student portal here on this column. So primary is for K-2, intermediate 3-5. It just has a more mature experience for intermediate with tabs instead of the worlds. You can also if you choose to turn on and off those incentives right here, creating groups, if you choose, if you have certain groups that you want to assign items to, you can make your groups here. You would select all students and just name your group. In addition, you can send students messages within the roster section. So on the far right, if you want to send a student a message, an encouraging message, or maybe something that you're noticing, it's on the far right here. They'll see it on their message dashboard too on their screen. You can also, if you open it up, there is an option to record it too, or you can just type it. Now, so this is for everything, the general tab. If I want to go into Foundations A to Z, I'll select that right here, Foundations A to Z. And here is where I can adjust the Explore Zone if I choose to. Now, I do recommend, so for the Explore Zone, it's self-paced. It follows the Foundations A to Z scope and sequence with the different activities. Remember the one that I showed you was an example. They'll see different activities where they can drag and drop, where they can use their microphone if you choose to have that on. So we recommend on their grade level, just starting at World 1. And it's self-paced, so you can always adjust this, and you can turn off certain things if you want the library turned off, you can, or the auto score recordings. If you prefer, if there's like a lot of background noise, you might choose to just manually score it, or you can keep it on auto. So definitely take a peek within your roster to adjust those settings as needed. We do have guided help on the right as well. Okay, now I know there's a ton of great things that I just shared with you. I want to remind you as we close out that the menu on the top left, going down to product support, like I showed you real quick at the beginning, product support, and then what's new with RAS Plus. This one here, because this, I'll show you, has everything. What's new with RAS Plus, it has everything with customizing the student experience, but actually I meant to click on product support, how to get started with in RAS Plus. The how to get started has, if I scroll down, everything for Foundations A to Z, quick little videos if I need a quick recap of what these resources are. I also want to highlight for you, here we have everything you need for parent information. It will give you the steps of how you can print out a parent letter, how parents can be added to the student roster as well. Also, we have RAS Plus ELL. Definitely recommend coming to how to get started with RAS Plus ELL. Start with the resources and just make your way down. Because with RAS Plus ELL, I'll end with one last thing. I know I'm kind of front loading you with a lot of information, but with RAS Plus ELL in the menu, it is under add-ons, ELL add-on, ELL edition. When you click ELL edition, the first thing that you actually do want to select is the title, ELL edition, because within that, it gives you everything right here. How to get started is in the middle, and you're going to choose if you want to do the data-driven approach. We have assessments to gauge where students are at. Or maybe you already know from working with the teacher where they're at. You can go to the content-based ELL instruction. So it is all here for you on how to get started, and then it will open up the resource when you click on it. So I definitely recommend first starting with the how to get started and exploring the ELL book packs would be my first go-to. ELL book packs provide resources for the same RAS Plus story that you have. If I click on it, I can filter by proficiency level, by grade, by content. And if I open up a book, this is a RAS Plus book. This is the ELL book pack is at the bottom. Oh, give it a second. Yep. This is all the ELL resources for that book. It gives you everything outlined here. So I definitely recommend doing the ELL book packs is a first great resource to explore. Now, with that being said, I'm going to stop because it is 11:30. Thank you so much for your time. Oops. I'm going to leave us with this. We have this, actually, let me open up that link so I could just put it in the chat. And that's our Survey Monkey. If you could give me feedback on if you learned something new within this session.
Guys, if there's anything you need me to go back over or you need to see again, I can stay on for an extra 30 minutes. So just let me know.
And thank you so much for your time. I do kind of have a hard stop because I have another meeting scheduled. So thank you all so much for your time, and we will see you soon in a couple of weeks for vocabulary A to Z with RAS Plus.
Thank you, Faith.
Thank you. Have a good rest of your day,
Thank you.
everyone.
Anybody need anything? I know it's a lot of information all at once and you kind of got to play with it just to get used to the information. But again, if you need me to walk through anything specific right now, I can do so. If you don't need me, you're free to go. I will see you guys at the training on the 26th. Otherwise, I'll just sit on here. If anybody can think of anything, in the meantime, I'll be on for the 30 minutes.
All right, Ryan, have a good one.
You too. Happy Friday. Okay. Quick startup as in how to set up students or
I figured out how to set up students. I figured out how to do the letters and how to print out their passwords, you know, their login cards and stuff like that. So without being tested for their iReady to have any type of Lexile score, stuff like that, how do I determine, for example, if I have a second grader, should I assign that second grader first grade books? Or how do I determine that without any type of testing done and waiting on the school to test until October?
So there is, once you start and you register the kids, there is an option to give them an assessment, just a starting assessment before you set up their Lexile. It should already be set because you haven't set their scores yet. So it should automatically start, but I'll go into a roster and show you what I mean. So let's see. So these kids already have an assignment. I'm in Michael's roster. But if you go
Okay.
into yours and look at your kids, this is under the RAS Plus tab under your roster.
Okay.
Go tell me what it says there.
All right. I can't get into mine because mine won't split. I've been in the room with Amy. So Amy's got 2 different computers. So I've been at her desk with her during this session.
Mm-hmm. Do you know your password? Maybe I can log into yours.
Yeah, it's
Hold on 1 second. Let me log out first. Okay.
hold on, I'm gonna pull it up for you. M. Kristen.
0.
Yep.
And
Yeah, M.
password?
Kristen 0, and then Inglewood 2025.
Lowercase?
Yeah, capital E, and then Inglewood 2025.
Okay. Classroom, student roster. Plus. Okay, so they already have a placement tool set for those kids that don't have a Lexile number already. And you'll probably want to go in and update the ones if they're returning. But these are all placement tools that's already set. So as soon as they log in, it'll send them into an assessment.
Oh, okay. So where are you on that page then? Because mine doesn't look like that when I pulled it up.
So let's go back. Learning.
Like, so from the
Let me
main
go back to
page,
your desk.
I would show like the student roster and then all the 26 kids, and then I would click on the roster.
Can you see my screen?
Yep, I can.
Okay, so roster.
Yep.
It's gonna pop up. Go to RAS
Okay,
Plus
that's
right
what
here,
I see. Okay, go to RAS Plus.
and that'll be the tab for this.
Okay.
And you've got a couple parents waiting on access, by the way.
Yes, I know I have 2. But I gotta figure
And so,
out what
yeah.
to do with that too. So
So once you get their score, you can change it here, or you can
Okay.
just give them, if you want to start off with them using it, then just go ahead and give them the assessment tool. Otherwise, you can just go in and assign it.
So then it's like when Olivia goes into hers and logs in, it's automatically going to give her an assessment.
Correct.
Her first steps will be an assessment. Okay.
Mhm.
And then like how Ethan's is right there, it says grade 2, Lexile 510L. So then that's what's going to show up like under Olivia's, but with her score.
Yep.
So right now, Ethan, he's got an assignment. So his books are already in there.
Yep. He's already set. So he
Okay.
won't get a placement tool when he logs in. It'll just go straight to his library and
Can you
and
open
his,
Ethan?
his portal.
Yeah.
I can't see his portal. I don't think.
Okay, so we can't see from this end of what books are in his.
We would have to log into his account. So if we know his password and username, we can log into his account and view.
Gotcha.
Otherwise, if you're talking about just viewing what all he has available to him, that you can see if you go. So here we're on his profile. Do I need to go back
Yes.
to show you how to get here?
Nope.
Okay, here. And then if you go into the, not reset, reading room
The
settings,
reading room. Yes.
you can see exactly what type of books he has available.
Okay, so all those. So when he opens it up, he's going to have all those books underneath his.
If he doesn't, and I would suggest this for all of the older kids that don't need a lot of like ABC type phonics books, take out the ABC books, because sometimes when you tell them to go read independently, they'll just go to
They
that
go-
library and they'll be looking at ABC books the whole time. And I'm like, what are you doing? No. You should
Take
be
out
reading a
ABC
book that's,
books.
yeah, you should be reading books on your level. So like a second grader, unless they're like really low, they shouldn't have this early reader alphabet book in here. But the other stuff is helpful if they need the assistance.
Reading. That's the reading room. Okay. Sorry, I'm taking notes while you're talking too. Okay. So then from that point right there, the program itself will do all the work.
hmm
Okay.
As far as them having a library, them practicing reading and then going to the next level, all that'll be done by the system. However, if you want to assign them anything, you have to do that physically.
Okay.
And which is easy, once you figure out what you want to do, whether it's a book or whatnot. Let's find a random book. Here we go, 100-day project. You can assign here, or you can add it to a folder if you want to save it and pre-plan, but you can assign
Now-
by clicking here, and then you
Can
can
I
do
ask you a
all.
question?
Sure.
What, like you're assigning that book, you found that book under, now that's under his reading score, right? His Lexile score. So it's not like no.
It's not under his course. So what I did, I just went to the resources and just clicked a random book, but you can specifically look for his score. So if say you got kids that are looking at here.
Oh, so you
looking
can go
at-
right there under Lexile. Yep. I
Yeah,
see
you can
that.
change it to Lexile, you can change it to A, B, C, D, because it'll tell you underneath the student's name under the roster
Okay.
what their level is.
Okay.
So even if their Lexile is BR10, whatever, they'll give you the letter that corresponds with that. So if they're all C students, you can click C and it'll pull C books. So it'll filter it out. So if we click at the fair, this would be a C book.
Okay.
When you go to
And then assign
assign,
it to, then I can assign it to Ethan and put it in his,
you can,
his
if he
thing.
were E, but he's L. But
Okay.
any of these C students, you can click them individually. There's only one because the rest of them
Okay.
aren't assigned yet. But you can individually click, you can click more than one. You can set a start date and an end date. So if you wanted to set it like homework, we're reading these books this month. You have until the end of this month to get credit for it. And we'll give you extra points for treasure box, or we'll give you extra bucks for treasure box, something like that. You know what I mean? That's what I
Okay.
would normally do. I'll give it a due
So-
date.
So all the student, under the students' names here, they have level L. Who assigned that? Who put that there? Or how did that information get there? Since I didn't use that this past year because I didn't have any access to it, or I couldn't get the iPads working and stuff.
So if you didn't put that in there, it's possible that these are scores from Aaron. So you may need to go back when you get these students' information and verify that that is the correct placing for them.
Okay. Or is there a way that we can reset so that the kids all start off at they take the assessment when they all log on?
Yep. So when you go back here, go back to your account, or I probably could have done that easier. Sorry. Go back to the RAS Plus account when you're back
Yep.
at your roster.
Yeah.
So just like we saw under there where all the placement tools are,
Yes.
you can change these to that. If you scroll up, placement tool.
Oh,
So
gotcha. Okay.
yeah, you can reset them by just going there. You can also reset the reading room for those students as well on that one page that I showed you for them. On their
Okay.
their dashboard page, you can reset their reading room.
Okay. So where it says parent is waiting to be granted access for
Mhm.
Kaylin and Harbor are the two parents that have, sent back information in reference to the letter I sent out.
Yep. So you
So
just
then-
click the little thing, it
Yeah.
pops back up, awaiting approval, approve, save.
And that's it?
That's it.
Oh,
Save and
okay.
close.
Oh,
And then
okay.
you do the same thing for the other
For-
parent.
For Kaylin, yeah.
Click, approve, save and close.
Okay.
And so now they
See, this is
have
this is
access.
what I need. I need to see it happening in front of my face to be able to, the whole time that she was doing the thing, I'm like, please click on it. Please click on it to show me. It was like, so this allows me to go, okay, here, this is where we're supposed to go. This is how we're supposed to do. Now it's clicking and I'm taking like mental pictures of it going, yes, now I'm understanding it.
Most of the stuff is hands-on for you to
Yeah.
learn it.
Yep, exactly. And it's kind of hard to go hands-on when you don't know if I click this, is it going to cause a problem, or because you don't know the system? So That's what gets
Right.
me worried too. So I think because I don't know where kids were placed last year, they didn't hardly do anything on Raz Plus. So I think I'm just gonna reset all the kids and I'm gonna let
Okay.
them assess from the get-go.
Yeah, and keep in mind though, the assessment, and this was like we stopped using it really a couple years ago, and that was from listening to one, different coordinators using it, and then two, listening to Learning A to Z. The test itself is not great.
Oh,
Like we were testing kids and it was putting like third graders in level AA, which is like ABC books. And we were like, what is that? But it's because their entry levels are so broad that if they're like on the edge, it'll put them early in. And so you can look at that. Once the scores pop up, you'll be able to see, but this is just temporary until you can get their Lexile scores. Also, in the
okay.
meantime, if you need to, you can get their reading levels from their teachers. So whatever is easier for you. I normally I thought it was on the survey, but I think sometimes they don't fill that out in the survey what their reading level is.
No.
Yeah, so you
So,
can ask them specifically what the reading level is if you want to get a more accurate view, or you can just wait until you get your scores back.
so
Whichever's easier for you.
is the fast test going to give them that reading level?
Their
That
fast
Lexile
test should
score?
give it. And
Yes,
then
okay.
in class, they're constantly giving them some type of reading test, running records, and all kinds of crazy things like that. So they should be able to give you their Lexile. They'll have it first. So even before that iReady score, they should have their reading levels, especially if they're students that are still like they're returning students to that school,
Uh-huh.
even new students to that school. They can pull up their records from last year and get that information too if they don't have the testing done yet. So
Okay.
whatever they ended with at the end of the school year, you can use that, or you can do the placement tool, or you can ask them for a specific reading level, whatever works for you. But
I
there are
wonder if
many
the
ways for you to get
registrar,
it.
I wonder if the registrar would have that information in their student account.
Ooh, probably. I don't think that's usually like in their profile when you go and like pull up a kid. And I used to
Right.
work in the front office of a school doing registration and stuff like that, and I don't remember seeing a reading level. I
Okay.
don't remember seeing a reading level. It might be in their file, but I don't think their reading level is like in the portal work that holds their profile.
Okay. All right.
But you can ask. It's been a while since I've been a school administrator, so
Okay. And then
or clerk.
when Raz Plus and everything was brought up, it's like, we're going to be watching to see if the students are using, if the coordinators are using. So for my end of this, what am I being looked at that I'm using in this?
So pretty much it's how much, and I can show you. Matter of fact, I'm going to log out of your account and show you what I see. You could pretty much see something similar with the students on your end. It'll be something similar to that, but let me log out and I'll show you.
Okay.
So you see where I just was? There you can log into the kids portal to look at their account if you would like. So this is what a dashboard would look like with things that you need for the students. Anyway, I'm gonna go to my account stuff. Reports. So this is us just monitoring general stuff. So we get teacher usage and student usage through here. We'll be able to
Okay.
go in and see how many people logged in, for how long, what they're actually doing. And so for
Okay.
teacher usage specifically, I can go, oh, here we are. and find you, which I don't, Inglewood, there we
Inglewood
go.
Elementary, yeah, okay.
Go into Inglewood. This is yours. You got 3 instructions, 1 practice, 14 total uses so far, and that's just looking at RAS Plus.
How can that be when we haven't even used it?
Have you logged in at all?
Oh, I've logged in to try to teach myself, yeah.
Yeah, that's that. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
tracking every time you go in and you use it. It'll pull
Oh,
that up.
okay.
I can also see your student usage, like how many students are registered. You've got 43 licenses for the, excuse me, not licenses, spots for kids. So I can
Uh-huh.
see all of that. And then once they
Okay.
start logging in, I'll be able to see how often they're logging in.
Okay.
I can see their skills, just like once they start doing tests and reading books, that'll pop up here. I can see their assignment report once that's done. I can see their assessment report once that's done. So I can see pretty much everything you can see plus what you're doing.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then we do like an impact meeting every quarter with them. So they come and they pull reports. They let us know who's using it the most, who's using it the least, what activities they're doing, top 3 schools, bottom 3 schools, who's not using it at all. So they give us those reports and walkthroughs, and they also show us the impact of what you guys are doing with the students and how that's reflecting in their data.
All right.
The other part of that we're looking from you guys, excuse me, is the deliverables. So although this is all being tracked in here, how much you're using it, we want to see what it looks like, since we're trying to get a little bit better about tracking that information so we know how to both support you guys and the students. So when you guys are doing those
The themes.
themes, yes,
Yes.
you'll be able to upload. So exactly what we're looking for, let's look at Computer Learning Month. Let's find a book. Maybe that's good. We're looking for this information about what you're teaching to be in your lesson plan reflection and your lesson plan list. And then 2, we're looking at, this one doesn't have any. Let me find one that's got them. Maybe I need to find a younger book. Let's do first grade. Difference in abilities. Read, listen. Hold on, that's a pack. Hold please. Is this, that's in Spanish. Is this one? Okay, here we go. This one has one. Pre-made lesson plans, edit lessons. This one doesn't have any either. Trying to show you things and can't get to any. Hold on, let's find a book. Let's go back to our books from here. Okay, boom, here we go. So if we're looking at the lesson plans, this is before you assign and everything. What we're looking for in the deliverables, aside from all of this information kind of being in there, letting us know what parts you're teaching, there are worksheets and lessons that you can physically give to the students. And so it would be, so like the comprehension worksheet, you would upload to me a completed one of these by a student.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, that part makes sense, but you were saying that this is for the theme?
Yes.
This is, okay.
So if you were to go to the theme, whatever theme you're gonna pick for that month, make sure it has something that you can show that they're doing. Whether if like for that first one, there's no actual
sheet or anything?
there's no actual worksheet. You can either take a picture, I don't know, of them reading and reading or someone going over the information, or something you did to show that they practice in it some way. take a picture of
Okay.
that or upload a picture of something like that. But
Okay.
most 9 times out of 10, nobody's choosing computer learning month anyway. But
Right.
if they're picking one, you're clicking that theme. I think even these have something in them. There's a close reading question guide. So a completed one of these from the kids would be,
Gotcha.
yeah.
So then what you're saying is according to your deliverables, your lesson plan, the day that you do your lesson plan for should be the day that you include this in there?
Yep. So if you did the RAS plus, say Charlotte's Web, you did the comprehension section, you did the vocabulary section. Wherever you used it. So if you took that one lesson and split it up for 2 weeks, put both of those days on here that you did that whole lesson. Any day that you work with that specific lesson, you would put it in here. So even if your whole rotation is only for 1023, but for that particular lesson for your RAS plus deliverable, you did it for 4 days out of that month, put all 4 days
Mhm.
on here that you worked with that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then I think there's a tab, there's a thing in here, RAS plus theme. And then you can also select, like you did the RAS plus thing. This should be multiple selections. Let me make sure. Here we go. You can select that, and then you could select comprehension and read aloud. And so we know that this is the RAS plus theme stuff.
And then just put the different dates that you did all that.
Yep. And then maybe they did a phonics word work situation on there, and then they did vocabulary, and then you just have what you did, brief description, which you can literally copy from the lesson plan. Who worked with them, what day you did those, any feedback or notes if needed. And then this is, did you upload it to your deliverables form? Yes or no? You're supposed to, but if there's something that you've done that there's no template or whatnot for, you can put no. But if it's for this deliverable, we need something uploaded.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, that makes me feel a little better. I'm a little more confident now. I'm not like, oh. So I'm gonna get the kids started. While I got you on, I have to ask you something too, since I messaged you earlier, I text messaged you earlier. I have one student and I just got done finishing all my testing yesterday. When I did my one Monday and Wednesday kids, there were 2 students that fell short. So I moved them down to the Tuesday and Thursday kids because that's where their learning group was. That was their level.
Okay.
Yesterday, when I finalized my testing, there was one girl that needs to be up 1, which I'm not offering in that Tuesday, Thursday group. She would need to come to the Monday, Wednesday group. That's where all my, kids are for her level.
Okay.
So I called the parent and asked the parent, I said, I got done testing. We tested Harbor yesterday, blah, blah, blah. This is everything. And unfortunately, the Tuesday and Thursday group, there's not the level that she's at. They are on, they meet on Monday and Wednesdays. And she's like, well, she's got tennis on Monday, so we can't do Mondays. What do I do in that situation?
Honestly, go ahead.
I can't give one of my volunteers away to teach one group. I can't for one person.
It's completely up to you. You can put her back in the rotation and say we'll put you on the wait list just in case something opens, but the group level that she'd be in for her day wouldn't. It's not going to be beneficial to her.
Okay. Right. Her last things to me was the fact that she goes, well, I'm going to call to see if she can go to tennis on any other day.
Yeah, see if they can work with you. If not, then tell her you'll keep her in the rotation. It's not going to infect her. It's not going to impact her enrollment. So if she does get referred later on, or she does need to come back in later on, you can definitely have her on the wait list. But starting off there, it's going to a lot of students may move around. I normally tell
Yeah.
them up front, like, hey, that first month, we're gonna be doing a lot of testing. So keep in mind your scheduled day might change based on your student skill level.
Okay. All right, so
So,
I'll just
but
wait to hear
it's
back
totally
from
up to
here.
you.
Okay. Yeah, because like I said, I
Yeah,
don't have the
'cause-
volunteers. Yesterday, I was pulling my hair out. I was just like, God help me, because I don't have anybody here yet. And I don't
Yeah.
have any staff, so it's me. And, the couple people that I do have now, they're like, oh, well, I won't be here all next week. I'm on vacation and I'm out of town in Germany for the following week. And, I'm like, And then I've got my high school students who just started off their new year and they're like, oh, well, we've got a meeting, on this day and we've got to do this for Lemon Day and we got to do that. And I'm like, okay. So, yeah, it's very
Well,
difficult not having at least one staff member that that your back is covered each day.
right. I
Yeah.
would definitely say something to whoever the supervisor is now. I'm still not sure about that. And then let them know, like, hey, it's not a really good idea. Like, I really shouldn't be by myself.
Yeah. I know
Like,
yesterday it was like
against
I
my
left.
policy.
Yeah, I left work yesterday. I got into my vehicle and I'm like, you know what? I'm about to just give up my salary to Amy. Let Amy go ahead and take the monies and let her have, a paid staff person to let her program run perfectly because this is crazy when you don't have anybody to back you. It's yeah.
Yeah,
From
it's hard
going to the
enough.
bathroom, you got to stop everything. You got to open a door, unlock a door, and and then trying to test and then trying to keep all the other tables and you're by yourself. It's, oh, and I gotta go to the bath. So now all of us are up going to the bathroom and it's just like, this is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't
If
be an
you
octopus.
do me a favor,
Uh-huh.
send an email, ask questions to your supervisor about these things. CC me and Katie in it. Because then we can tag that into our quarterly meeting, which should be happening pretty soon. Because we are reaching the end of quarter one. That way we can say, hey, what are you guys doing to fix this? I was gonna say it anyway, but this way it's on their radar. Like there's proof that there's been a conversation. That way we can be like, hey, what are we doing for this? I know Marlene has been busted butt getting volunteers, but most of those don't start until October. What do you guys plan to do? Are you floating a staff member? Are you like what are we
It's a-
doing to get them some support until that? How can we help?
I even asked a couple people here at the Y yesterday. I'm like, listen, I'm going to be in a world of hurt next week. I don't have volunteers. I said, can any of you come over and just be a body for me?
Yeah.
I'm trying anything because it's like I said, when you don't have anyone, it's difficult. Yeah.
And you shouldn't be by yourself. Like I get it, not having them not wanting to afford the money for staff. Totally get that. The budget cut has put everybody in a huge bind, but something still needs to be done. And although you've done the work, you've actually done the work for the volunteers, like there's nobody there. And so you shouldn't be by yourself. So in the meantime, something should be done until that can be rectified. So I know we're coming towards the end of the month, but still,
Yeah.
because if
I've
something
got my
happens,
list
you're
and
by yourself.
one's coming back the first week in October, and then the end of October, November are the others.
Yeah,
So-
so that's still half
Yeah.
another month where you're gonna be by yourself pretty much. So
Yeah, and
should-
then it's like on top of that, at least my Monday and Wednesdays, they have, I have extension 1 and challenge. That's the only 2 groups. So I'm like, okay, I can deal with that one. I can make that work. But my Tuesday and Thursday kids, they're all over the place. I've got like 4 or 5 groups already. And it's just like, how do you do all that by
and
yourself?
I don't live there, so I can't come help you.
Oh, I know.
Look, I would come and help you, but I'm not there.
No. So
Man.
it's just, a little stressful.
I wonder, and they may not, and they're probably super upset because how long it took them to even tell them. But maybe Maria and Brenda will
Mary
come
and Brenda?
over. Mary, not Maria. Mary, yes.
Mary, I would kill to have Mary as an assistant.
They're so
That's what
good.
I know. That's what I wanted because it was like, come on, just give me one assistant, one assistant. I'm gonna have Mary. I'll take Mary. Please, God, give me Mary. And it's like, I asked Liz, I'm like, Liz, and she's like, nope. And I'm like,
But you can't be by yourself. That's why policy. So they've got to kind of figure that out until the volunteers roll in.
so then what I'm just gonna do is tell her that, hey, I'll let you know each day if I don't have somebody with me. And if I don't have somebody with me, either you or someone else from the Y is gonna have to come over.
I mean, and they should know it's a liability. Like
Right.
it's like it's literally it's in every wise policy. You shouldn't be alone with children.
Yeah.
So and
right.
I'll talk to Katie too to see, because I'll see her all next week for the symposium. So we'll get on the horn, and we are prepared for these conversations with everyone anyway. So
Right. Yeah, I was all excited. Well, I know it wasn't supposed to be exciting because they didn't get their site, but it was when they're like, oh, we didn't get funded for our site. And I'm like, oh my God, I can have Mary. I can have Mary, please. Because I know Brenda, she was going to go right back into subbing and stuff like that. But I was like, oh, because Mary's awesome with SIPs and everything. I'm like, that would be a godsend. And yeah, no, prayers weren't answered.
so we'll try to poke the bear a little bit and see what happens.
Okay. All right. Have a fantastic weekend. Thank you for staying on.
Too.
All
No
right.
problem.
Bye.
Bye.